Hello and welcome to Adobe Premiere Pro CC Tips and Tricks. I'm Ron Perzuka, an Adobe Certified Instructor. Today we're going to talk about the media browser. Now, the media browser has gone through some changes when we converted from CS6 to CC, and I want to show you some of the new things and some of the things that will help you make working with it a little bit easier. Now, the media browser is contained here in our project window. And by selecting this tab, you have access to the media browser. We're going to go ahead and make it full screen just so you can get a better look using the tilde. Here we can see the media browser, very typical setup. On the left-hand side, you have your drives and file locations, and on the right-hand side are our folders and any media that's contained inside of them. You can see here in our media drive, we've got our projects folder, and within that, all of the projects we're working on. Currently, we are working on this project, and if we were to navigate to our media folder in here, we can see that we've got a variety of P2 cards and then another folder with some voice media. Remember that the media browser is really designed to work best with card-based media. You can use it to find other files, but there is no easy way to copy files from their original location to your media folder. So if you're going to use the media browser, it's important that the first thing you do is copy over all of the files that you want to look at into your project folder. Here we can see a project folder in our projects. We'll go to this project, and within it we've got a media folder, and we've already copied all of the media that we were looking for. So within the voice, we've got different narration tracks, and we have our clone cards here, and we're calling it card 1, 2, and 3. They all look basically the same inside with our contents folder and all the other files contained within folders. A little hard to navigate and work in here, and that's why we choose instead to use the media browser. So remember, we first copy all of this into our media folder, and now we're free to use the media browser to import footage that we find that we need. One of the problems that sometimes you had before is if you have a complicated or a big drive and lots of different things in different places, you always had to navigate your way to find what you were looking for. One of the nice new features here is the favorites. Now that means I can come, for instance, to my projects folder, and I can right-click on it and now add that to my favorites. So now I don't have to go looking for my projects. I can simply click up here from the favorites and find my projects folder very, very quickly. Now, if there's a particular project or a particular folder, maybe a shared location that you use very often, you can also save any of these as something you want to come back, a favorite that you're going to use over and over again. I would suggest as a minimum, have your projects folder as a favorite so you don't have to go looking through it every time, and makes life just a little bit easier for you. All right, so if we go in our projects window, we can navigate to the project that we're working on right now, which is the Warrior game setup. And you'll see that it located our project, and it shows us some of the things that we have in here. Now, if we go to our media folder, here are our 3 clone cards and our voice. So if we go into our voice folder, you'll notice that it shows me basically like a Windows Explorer window, but it's just showing me the actual media files. Anything else that's in there that you may have had doesn't clutter up. It only shows the actual media files that you can use, and that's a very useful thing. But it's still looking at it in a file-based structure. Now, one of the cool things is previously you had to re-navigate your way back as you went through. It would sure be nice if there was just a back button that we can use to kind of backtrack our navigation. And here it is, a back button. So we can go back and work our way back through the navigation and go back to where we were looking for. That's going to save you a little bit of time in the future. Now, here are our clone cards, as I mentioned before. All I have to do is select one of these cards, and it will go through and find the media, mux together all of the audio and the video, and allow me to kind of go through and find the shot or shots that I'm looking for. This functionality hasn't changed. It's still just as useful as it was before, and you can see we can We can scrub through here just by moving our cursor on it. And when we're ready to import a particular shot, we just click on it, right click, and we can import that shot. And now it goes into our project window. Now, I can also do multiple shots just as before, just by holding down the control, and I can select different ones, right click any of those, and import all of them at once, and it's going to import them as well. Now remember, it's not copying any media. That media has already been copied to our project folder, in the media folder within it, and all we're merely doing is making it available for us within our project window so that we can start editing. Now, one of the cool things about the changes is before, if you had multiple cards, you had to keep switching between them. And you can navigate here, or you can go, and each time it recognizes it as a P2 card and has access. But if I'm looking around for stuff, having to jump back and forth between cards, it can slow down my process. One of the cool things that has been added here is the ability to have more than one media browser open at a time. To get a second media browser, you simply go to the flyout or hamburger menu, and you request a new media browser panel. Lo and behold, we've got a new browser here. And again, I can go to my favorite that I set up, go to my project that I'm working on, or really any other project. And now I can actually look at multiple cards at one time. This can be really useful when you're not exactly sure where the media is. You're not going to bring everything into your project. You can have multiple ones set up. Again, if I want another one, I can say new media browser panel, and again, navigate to the project, this one or any other one that I'm working on. And now I can see all three of my P2 cards at the same time within my windows here. So a very useful tool to jump between them and import the shots that I want. And this is particularly useful when I'm not in full window mode, because as you can see here, I don't have a lot of room, and it makes it a little bit harder to navigate and find the shots that I want to import. But I can simply just go through them here and choose the ones that I want. So here's card 3, card 1, card 2, and I can just pull up any of the media I'm looking for. When I find the shot that I want, maybe it's this one here, import, and when I go back to my project window, you can see it's been added. The media browser is a great way to find camera-based footage that you've already cloned and copied into your media folder, and then you can bring in the shots that you need quickly into your project and continue with your editing.